أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين سيدنا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I was on Facebook scrolling through my feed as you do, and I came across a very interesting story that a brother had posted. He was in an Arabic majlis here in Dearborn, and while this majlis was going on, everything was being recited in Arabic. He looked to his side and there was a man who appeared to be Christian and non-Muslim whatsoever. And he was just sitting throughout the program listening and listening. And when it came time for the majlis and everyone began to cry, this man who did not understand Arabic was weeping, like weeping. So after the majlis, this brother asks the man, he says, "Do you understand Arabic?" He says, "No, I don't." He said, "I noticed that you were weeping very hard." He said, "How? If you don't understand the language of Arabic, how did you understand him?" He said, "Even though I didn't understand Arabic, I felt as if a member from my family had just been martyred. And for some reason, I felt that it was my duty just to cry and weep as if my mother or my father had been martyred." And when I came across this story, this reminded me about Hurr al-Riyahi. Hurr al-Riyahi, as we know, was one of the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. And when he was deciding between what army he should be a part of, obviously we know that he became a part of Imam Hussein's army alayhi salam and was martyred in the way of Islam. He said, "It's as if I was choosing between hellfire and heaven." And today I want to touch upon this unique personality. And no matter where we are, 1400 years ago, there was a Hurr al-Riyahi. And 1400 years after, there are Hurr al-Riyahis all around the world. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. What can we be? What can we be? My question answered by Hurr al-Riyahi. Hellfire or heaven? He answered with his decision. He saw Hussein once as the opposition, yet managed to see him as the youth of our heaven. "I saw him as my witness," he says. "I saw him as my witness on this day of resurrection. I became him and tried everything just to please him. For pleasing Hussein is pleasing my Lord, the remover of all sins. And just as he washed away my thirst and guided me through prayer, I fight for him only as I pledge allegiance to my master. What can I be? What can we be? My question answered by Hurr al-Riyahi, hellfire or heaven? He answered with his decision, yet managed to see him as the youth of our heaven. For Hussein, anything I'd give. Life does not begin until the heart knows of him, until all plead for him. And when on that day, he sounds out his call, is there anyone out there to help me? Will answer from the heavens, Master, we sacrificed all for you. All we ever did was to please you. We lived in honor of only you. And if on this day, all that is left is you, I would die 1,000 times in place of you. On this day, when it is only you who remains, when Zainab comes to aid you, as a mountain of sorrow she became. On this day, centuries have gathered to call your name. It is us in a new generation, as fear we overcame. What can we be? What can we be? My question answered by Hurr al-Riyahi, hellfire or heaven? He answered with his decision. He saw Hussein once as the opposition, yet managed to see him as the youth of our heaven. I am lost in your service. I am lost in your service, and never do I wish to be found, for you are my life and the stability in my ground. I found you everywhere I went, so how can I reject you? I saw the doors of heaven open through the mentioning of your name. I found heaven as my eternity, and Hussein my reality. I gained my sight when I stood and served you. I gained my sight when I stood and served you, as I was blind before I realized your stance for truth. I am lost in your service. I am lost in your service, and never do I wish to be found. In honor of Hurra al-Riyahi, raise your voices in the loudest of salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.